Let's get into it. This is episode 711, Soul Not For Sale podcast. Elon Musk, Joe Rogan, and Elon is opening up. He's talking about the mainstream media, social media platforms, what's really going on behind the scenes as he sees it, being an owner of one of them. And then he has some very choice words for George Soros. Starts talking about him a little bit. I've never seen Elon Musk so open in an interview. You know, there's been a couple where he's opened up a bunch, even with Joe Rogan a little bit. But this one, it's just wide open. Absolutely amazing. Let's just get right into it.
Well, you didn't know about the federal government. You didn't know about the intelligence agencies inside of Twitter until we found out. Like, do you think that this is ubiquitous? Is this
it's absolutely all the social media companies. In fact, right now, X, or formerly known as Twitter, is the only one that is not kowtowing to the government. It's the only one. There isn't. All the others just do exactly what the government wants.
That is wild.
Yes.
What I was getting at, do you think that that's everywhere?
Yes.
Do you think that that's CNN? Do you think that that's the New York Times? Do you think that that's the Washington Post? Because if they were going to infiltrate media, if they were going to infiltrate social media.
It is weird the degree to which the media is in lockstep. Like, why is the media in lockstep? And why doesn't the media question the government? They used to.
Right.
Why don't they do that anymore? Seems weird. Something doesn't add up.
What do you think? Well, there seems like there's a bunch of factors, right? I think one of the big factors is pharmaceutical drug companies allowed to advertise on television. And we're one of two countries in the world that allow that.
I actually agree with pharmaceutical advertising provided it is truthful. Because there could be some drug that is helpful to someone, but obviously the claims need to be accurate. So I actually think pharmaceutical advertising, if it is accurate, and I think it actually, to play devil's advocate here, I think pharmaceutical advertising is generally accurate. I think that's actually okay. Now I should say that a lot of the censorship that we see is coming from indirectly from advertisers and advertising agencies, and from PR companies, who want a particular viewpoint pushed, or are being driven by nonprofits to push a particular. Like what will happen is there'll be a sort of a group of nonprofits or that push advertisers to advertise or not advertise on a particular platform. One often hears of the sort of George Soros boogeyman, but I mean Soros actually, he is, I believe, the top contributor to the Democratic Party. The second one was Sam Bankman-Fried.
Yeah.
So, and Soros, I don't know. I mean, he had a very difficult upbringing, in my opinion, he fundamentally hates humanity. That's my opinion.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, well, he's doing things that erode the fabric of civilization. Getting DAs elected who refuse to prosecute crime. That's part of the problem in San Francisco and LA and a bunch of other cities. So why would you do that?
Was it humanity or is it just the United States as a whole? I mean,
he's pushing things in other countries too.
He's doing the same thing?
Yeah. Now, George at this point is pretty old. I mean, he's not, he's basically a bit senile at this point. But I mean, he's very smart. And he's very good at arbitrage. Famously, he shorted the British pound. That's sort of how I think he made his first money, was shorting the pound. So he's good at spotting, basically arbitrage, like spotting value for money that other people don't see. So one of the things he noticed was that that the value for money in local races is much higher than it is in national races. So the lowest value for money is a presidential race. Then next lowest value for money is a Senate race, then a Congress, but once you get to sort of city and state district attorneys, the value for money is extremely good. And Soros realized that you don't actually need to change the laws; you just need to change how they're enforced. If nobody chooses to enforce the law, or the laws are differentially enforced, it's like changing the laws. That's what he figured out.
But is what's stunning that this trend, that people haven't pulled the brakes on this and have it reverse course?
I'm pulling the brakes?
Yeah.
Yeah, pulling the brakes right now.
Yeah, you are. But you might be the only one.
Well, I think more people should. Most people just don't want to rock the boat. Most people are looking for acceptance from society, and they're if there's some negative press article, they're like shattered. Well, I couldn't give it down.
Right.
Go
Good.
ahead, make my day.
Well, it's fascinating where if you're a high-profile public figure like yourself, it's impossible to make everybody happy. So there's going to be someone who says something shitty about you.
Yeah.
Somehow or another, when it's in print, does that mean more? Because other people are going to see this shitty thing?
Well, I guess
that's where it gets odd. Because essentially, an article in the New York Times is just a single person's opinion, and whatever editor gets involved.
It's just a lot of people will read that.
Yeah.
I mean, less people these days
But I
than
think
in the past.
people know that now. People
I
know
say,
that
I find
now.
the New York Times these days to be hard to read.
Well, unfortunately, they make some grave errors.
Yeah.
Like that Hamas bombing the Israeli bombing the hospital
Chickpeas?
story. Yes, it's delicious. I mean,
I think we should cut off chickpea exports. That'll bring them to the knees right away. What do you do? Take a chip and dip it in nothing?
what we need to do is introduce them to pineapple and anchovy pizza. They will have
I hope that's coming.
Is that coming? Do we have a pizza name, like a company?
I think so. I'll get some information.
I want to make
Is
sure
this
it's a
real?
good one, though.
Pizza Leone.
Oh, that's legit.
Pretty close.
Okay,
It's pretty good.
there we go. Nice. Did they give us a timeline?
It shouldn't take too long. They're not too far away, and it's late, so it shouldn't. I would have bet 20 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe.
All right.
Max 40. But
Taking care of your health isn't always easy, but it should be simple. And that's why for the last that are obsessively sourced for absorb G1.com. The problem OC want to do more and /Rogan late night meal.
Yeah,
Hats off.
Totally.
Or wigs off.
100%.
Yeah, I'm a giant fan of very good late night food, and that's one of the things that like Los Angeles really used to have.
All right, they went off a little bit. You know what? I'm going to be honest. I don't think, first off, I've done some long ads on here, and now that Rogan's doing it to me, I see what I was doing to you guys. I apologize. My bad. Trying to support my family, my growing new family that's growing. I'm sorry, because that was ridiculous. That was like 3 minutes he just put me through. Anyway, anyway, I don't think Rogan was ready for Elon Musk was just putting down. I don't think he was ready for a Soros conversation. You know, Rogan recently just turned that leaf where he was like, I don't want to criticize people and all that stuff. He just turned over a new leaf. And Elon Musk is like, well, he fundamentally hates humanity. Joe Rogan had to pause. You hear that? He's just like, is it humanity? But again, I'm a JRE historian. He was just on a podcast with Patrick Bet-David. Patrick Bet-David had him play an interview. He made these points. Joe already knows. But he didn't want to embrace that. He didn't want to go into that. But listen, big platform. Maybe you don't want to do that. Elon Musk, probably has some next level security compared to Joe Rogan. Elon Musk probably runs around with some Secret Service type people. So I get it. He doesn't want to do that kind of thing. He's wearing a wig. It's Halloween. He's chilling. He's waiting on pizza. I get it. But Elon Musk is bringing the heat on this one. And just to say something, change the ways that law is enforced. If that isn't what's happened in the past 4 years, I don't know what's happened. The police have been cuffed themselves. They can't do anything. And then Elon Musk brought up something that I didn't know. Hire somebody who's not going to enforce the laws the same way. Instead of going to the police and defunding them, just get a district attorney that won't do it. Go high up. Go over everybody's head. Makes a lot of sense to me. And then Joe said something. He was like, why does it matter when somebody writes an article? It matters. It actually doesn't matter. If you just ignore it, if you just turn off your phone and like go on vacation for 3 weeks, it doesn't really matter. You don't have to apologize. You don't have to do any of that. We've seen it time and time again. But what's happening when you see somebody write something, it's not just one person's opinion. It's the machine at work. And that's why it really in people's minds gets a little scary, because the machine's at work now. Because one person wrote something and it gets a little traction, and then another person writes something and it gets a little traction, and then another person, and the next thing you know, you got a well-oiled machine that is just barreling down a highway trying to bring about your demise. I imagine that would be a scary thing. You know what I mean? What he had to say about George Soros. Hoo-wee. I agree. I've been wanting to do an episode on this guy, but like, yeah. If you look into him, it seems that way. With the little bit that Elon Musk brought up, it really does seem that way. And if you just do a little bit of digging, it seems that way. And he brings up his upbringing. Yeah, it was hard. It was hard to the point where I wouldn't say I get it and I'm cool with it, but he's definitely gone through a lot. Like, if Marvel was making a villain, they could use his story of how he grew up real easy. Real easy, I'm just saying. And then, the thing that he said at the beginning, Twitter or X, respectfully, after everything Musk has said, respectfully, I'll call it X. X is the only one that's not doing what they say. That's wild. That's wild. Am I really supposed to have 10 million subscribers? Is that what's supposed to be? Is this video supposed to have 5 million views? Is that what kind of content I put out and I don't even know it? Oh man. Probably not. You know, everything's fair here. Everything's fair here, guys. Let's not say anything to the contrary. But yeah, man. Let me know what you think in the comments. Elon Musk going hard, man. And he said it himself. He's Joe Rogan's like, why is no one pumping the brakes? He's like, I'm pumping the brakes. And you know what? I don't like the fact that he wants to implant things into people's brains. I do not like that whatsoever. I've made a video about it. It goes down a very slippery slope. But when Sam Altman is making ChatGPT and there's a clear bias to it, Elon Musk tries to make something to rival it. When people are complaining about car prices, he's trying to make a car that's better and is cheaper. When social media seems like it's being controlled in some way, shape, or fashion, he goes ahead and buys the social media platform that he thinks is most important. But here's the thing: is all that just to lull us into this security? So we're like, of course I'm going to take this guy's brain chip. Is that what's going on here? Is he getting us? Because he got me with this clip that I just played. He got me. I was like, this guy's the best. Where's it go? Right here? Can I get it behind the ear? I just want it behind the ear and then up. Little scar? I wear hats anyway. Don't worry about it. I'm joking. But man, can't tell with this guy. He's doing such great things, but then that one thing of wanting to put chips in people's brains, I'm like, just can't get behind that thing. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Are you agreeing with what I'm saying? Are you agreeing with what Elon's saying? Does all this make sense? I know I threw a lot at you just now, but man, that's what this episode is. It's a lot. Subscribe for the most and best Rogan clips on YouTube. 100%. Test it. Go find another channel. You're not going to find one with more clips, better clips. You're just not going to. Anyways, I'm out.